Welcome everybody to episode 2 of Los Lobos Corner. I'm here with my second guest, my brother, El Tercer Lobo, Zuri G, baby. If you don't know him by now, man, y'all sleep.
If this guy, ain't know, now you know.
Music recording engineer, promoter, businessman, real estate guru, anything that you need, this man knows it. And we're here to tell a little bit about his story and how he got started. Zuri, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling blessed, man. I'm feeling blessed.
So first things first, I want to talk about, because I personally don't know, even though you're my brother, we get caught up in the moments, but I want to know how you got into the music industry and where'd you start working, and how, bro, when you see this man work, this guy's a guru, a genius. Like the amount of plugins that he knows how to use and how to make the vocals sound so good. I just want to know, how'd you get started and how'd you learn so much?
Yeah, man. Thank you, by the way, bro. I appreciate it. I worked really hard on my craft and I've invested a lot of time and energy into, getting to this point. And I'm not even at the peak yet. You know what I mean? I'm just, every time we get in the studio, it's something new. You get better, I get better. We help each other get better. It's really just a art, you know what I mean? And being a creative. And, I started when I was really young, when I was like 16, 17. I remember I used to always want to be an artist. Like I literally started like recording myself on my like phone with the computer, and like I would press play on YouTube, press play on record on my phone, and I would literally just rap. Like, and then I would like fuck up like a minute and 30 in, do the whole thing over again. I used to record the whole song one take, like everything, and then I would like perfect it to my best ability, and then I'd go to school. I go to work, I talk to my friends, like, yo, listen to this song I made, listen to this song I made. And I used to think it sounded so good, you know what I mean?
Off the phone?
Off the phone. And then like, like years later, like when I really started to understand like how you can like record through these digital audio work systems and stuff like that, like I found out that like, you there's an art to it, you know what I mean? And it wasn't just recording, like it was really like using the plugins correctly, learning what the plugins do, like, and what the radio quality music sounds like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I was recording myself as an artist, making music with my friends, and then I started recording myself and my friends on Logic. And then like I got kind of like saucy with it, but not that saucy. And then I got introduced to this guy that like I would go to his crib and I would pay him, and he was like a professional, you know what I mean? And he really gave me an idea of what like quality music sounded like, and like what like the industry standard was. And like I just like would pay like $80 an hour to go record with this guy. Like at the time, like it was like a lot of money. I was like 19, 18.
Yeah. And
like it was like, damn, like $80 an hour to record. Like, and this was like my first studio experience, you know what I mean? So I didn't have an idea of what it costed.
Yeah.
And it was like a 3-hour minimum, you feel me? So like I was like, man, like all right, let's see what, like I'm used to recording myself with my friends just for fun. So whatever we went, and it was like changed my like whole perspective on music and like everything. And then I like was fascinated by it. I remember I went home and like the whole week, like I was just watching videos after video after video on how these plugins work and how to sound like Travis Scott and how to sound like Future and this, that, and the third. And I was just investing so much of my time and my energy into my craft and trying to make myself sound good. And then COVID hit, and the job I was working at ended up like closing, and they let everyone go, and I was receiving money from the government, and
them checks came in.
Yeah, them checks came in
during COVID.
And then whatever, I got a little what is it called? I was working for free basically at this recording studio. I was an intern. It was an internship.
Yeah.
And it was a really like, top of the line studio. There was a lot of big artists in and out of that spot. A lot of really, really,
so that's
really,
where you got exposed to like the industry, and like you really learned how to like
for sure
move, and you started working in you said you started in Logic. Did you start working in Pro Tools?
Yeah.
I know we work in Pro Tools a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. So I went from Logic to Pro Tools, which is like the industry standard. And it was like just being surrounded by these really, really, really talented people, really knowledgeable people. And I was just able to, be taught by them. And I was blessed to just learn by doing it. I was there like, 4 or 5 times out of the week, you know what I mean? 4 or 5 days out of the week. And I was just working, grinding hard. And you know, taking the time, I remember I was spending more time at the studio than I was at my own house at one point.
Wow.
I'd literally wake up, go to the studio the whole day, come back home, shower, sleep, wake up, do the whole thing again.
Yo,
Like for like every single
man,
day,
you
maybe
really put
like
that
1 or
time
2
in,
days
bro.
off.
Wow.
Nah, for sure. And I was definitely surrounded by really ambitious, driven people, which just motivated me that much more to just want to go get it.
Yeah.
Being surrounded by so many types of different artists, creatives, you know, and you know, some of these people I would work with were doing music way longer than me. And they would be like, yo, I want this effect and that effect. And I would be like, how the fuck do I do that effect? And then I would learn how to do that effect. And then I'd like do that effect mixed with this effect and make shit sound crazy. And like, you know, like it's just an amazing experience being surrounded in that really creative environment. And you know, eventually I branched off and I did my own thing. I started my own music production company. I started my own artist development company. And
I think that around that time is when we met. So he has a music production, artist development. So you know, he in my opinion, he's a one-stop shop. Anything you want, Zuri will get it done. Whether it comes to recording, mixing, mastering, also promoter. He takes you to the club, have your record played. Man, it's crazy. Around that time, that's when we tapped in. Man, I want to ask you, what was your first like impression of me? And the first session that we did, I think like the real legit session was Casa El Perreo.
Yeah.
At Lucrative View Studios. And you really like before working with you, I had a couple other engineers. I had my boy engineer me. But man, like when I worked with you, it was like a different experience, man. You like leveled up like the whole experience, like the sound, the way we work, the man, hey, punch in right here, do this, do that, hey, say this, say it like this, ha ha. I was like, whoa, like forever tapped in, forever locked in. I think since that point, I haven't recorded with anybody else other than you.
Word.
But my question to you is like, what was your perspective during that experience of like recording Casa El Perreo, the other track that we made, Carretera, that right now like they're sounding in the clubs. Every time we go out to the club, man, we got a table, we got bottles, the DJ's playing our song that he recorded us, mixed us, mastered us. So my question to you is, how's that feeling? What's your perspective on that experience?
Man, I loved it, bro. I mean, I love being in the studio. It's like a hobby, it's a passion, and meeting you have an amazing vibe. You know what I mean? We were able to go in there and just flow with it and just, you know, it just all came into one piece. And I think the most important part is we were just laughing and having fun the whole time. You know what I mean? And that's really what it's about. Like people you can vibe with. I definitely caught a vibe with you, and we were able to work and just connect on the creative plane, and just, you know, Jeezy was there too.
Yep.
And like, you know, it was just good chemistry. You know what I mean? That's one of the most important things. And I think more than just being an engineer or collaborative, like, you know, it's really just about being able to flow with people and their energy, because every artist is different. And trust me, you're not going to flow with every artist. No. Sometimes they're just difficult. Other times you just don't like what they got going on. You know what I mean? But it's just learning to, you know, appreciate and admire the art, you know what I mean? And just the creativity that goes into it. Because people come in all the time in the studio with some really amazing ideas, you know what I mean? And like, it's so sad because that person will pay so much money on getting the record ready to go, and it never even like drops to the public, you know what I mean? And this artist just like never got around to it, or wasn't disciplined, invested, whatever, driven enough, whatever it was, you know what I mean? And they just, so many records that are out there that are like amazing, they'll blow you away, that will never be heard, you know what I mean? It's crazy. That's the craziest thing.
Like really, when you create and like it never comes out, and you made a masterpiece.
Which is why, like, when we create these bangers, we're always dropping them and shit. You know what I mean? We just have to.
To your point, I feel like as creatives, I feel like being in that moment, it's all about the flow and it's all about the chemistry. Like I don't know. I feel like I tell you one thing and you pick it up and you know exactly, like, I don't know. Even if I don't even explain myself correctly, you still understand what I'm trying to get accomplished, and bro, I'm telling you, you're a genius, because I be seeing you cook up, and I'm like, bro, how do you do that? Like, it's because you know the plugins, you know how to work them, you know how to make it sound, you know the industry standard, you know what's expected, you know what's gonna help us take us to the next level. I mean, if you listen to my music before I met Zuri, it's night and day. It really is. Like, my sound completely, ever since I started working with you, my sound completely like went up to that industry standard, that radio ready. You know, like, we could send a record right now and get it played on the radio if we wanted to. Why? Because it's ready to go. It's mastered. It's mixed. The vocals sound clean. The beat sounds amazing. So that is something that I want to tap in a little bit more of, like, how you think that you not to like gas you up, but I kind of want to gas you up. Like, what separates you from other engineers? Like, is it the time? Is it the knowledge
Nah, I mean,
of
I
the
don't think
plugins?
it's
Like,
none of that, bro. I mean, look, bro, I've met some engineers that I listen to their mix and I listen to mine. I can't even hear a difference, to be honest. I'll ask people, yo, did I mix that? And they'll be like, nah, my boy, it was so and so did this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And like, you know, it's just about being a creative. I don't think I'm better than anyone. You know what I mean? I just really, like I said, it's an art, and I
yeah,
learned to admire just the creative portion of it all. And you know, it's like, bro, there's some days I go to the studio and like I can't tap into that creative plane. You know what I mean? And I'm just like a button clicker.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know what I
Press
mean? It's
record
not.
and
I'm
keep
not
it
even
pushing.
like there. And sometimes I got personal shit going on. Other times I'm
Yeah,
just not with the vibes, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's really just about tapping into that creative energy, and I feel like every artist deals with that. You know what I mean? And learning to constantly connect to this energy, this creative energy that's in the universe, and tapping into it and just letting it flow through you. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I feel like I've gotten pretty good at tapping into that creative energy. You know what I mean? And it's kind of just like showing up. You're excited.
yeah.
You're looking forward to work and make this music. You know what I mean? And you know, it's always gonna be a passion for me. You know what I mean? Like I could be in the studio 30 days straight, and I'm gonna go in that 31st day and be like, shit, I'm ready.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah.
me? Like, this is gonna be excited. You know what I mean?
I could
Like
tell you really love it, man.
for
I can
sure.
really tell.
Yeah, I just invest myself into the music, and maybe not all engineers know how to do that or have people skills to be able to just flow with anyone. You know what I mean?
So other than us creating music and we on the come up right now, I'm gonna just say that like we really coming up in the city of Miami. The other thing I want to talk to you about is what other things you got going on. I know you in a little bit of real estate. I know you got a little business funding, a
Right.
little business that you got going on. So tell the people more about that.
Yeah, man. So, you know, music definitely is my passion, but being in the industry for so long is really hard to work with a lot of people and be extremely profitable. You know what I mean? Because there's so much that goes into being a successful artist, and it's not like I'm cashing out as an engineer, or cashing out helping develop these artists. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, I kind of invest myself a lot into these people to the point where like, you know, the margins on profit just aren't that big because I really invest myself into their career in the music, and at the end I just want to see them win. So it's not like I'm hitting people over the head like some of these people in the industry. And you'd be surprised how much margins these people have, you know what I mean, when they sell their services and their products. But that's a different conversation. You know, branching outside of the music, I got involved in a lot of different things. You know, I've always been a hustler, I've always been a businessman. And you know, I was blessed enough for life to kind of point me in the direction of real estate. I got involved with some individuals that uh, were selling a course for wholesale real estate. I ended up selling the course for them, and you know, part of that process required me to go through the course and learn wholesale real estate. So I ended up learning like a whole wholesale real estate course, and I understood the in and outs of it all. And then I was able to, you know, take courses on how to become a high ticket closer, and I was selling the service. And then eventually, like, it wasn't profitable enough. It wasn't as profitable as they promised me it would be, and I ended up leaving. And then they hired me back to actually do wholesale real estate with investors' money, and I started doing that. I've been doing that for like 4 years now, and like right now I'm managing like 12 different properties across the United States, all fix and flips, and then we have other properties that are on the list of being wholesaled.
Nice.
um, you know, and it's allowed me to just get a lot of experience in the wholesale, in the real estate market in general, really, because, you know, it's a lot more than just wholesale that we do. And then, you know, connecting and networking with people, I was able to be connected with individuals who were doing funding, who were doing credit repair, who were involved with a bunch of different type of investment, you know, like situations, you know what I mean? And people that do car rentals, people that do real estate, people that do Forex, people that do all types of stuff. And, you know, I was just like, man, like, how can we like add a value to the audience I'm around, the network that I'm around, and profit from it? You know what I mean? Because, you know, the most important thing, and it's like one of the first laws that like I follow is, you know, as long as you add value to the world, whatever it is that you're doing, you're adding value to the world, you're always going to give value back, because the world, you know, life is like a reflection. It's like a big mirror, and everything that you put out comes back in. You know what I mean? And you know, I was just thinking, like, how can I provide people with a lot of value so that I can also get a lot of value?
Right.
And like, you know, what's 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 to someone that you're helping make hundreds of racks? You know what I mean? Like, that's nothing. And it's providing services and getting knowledge on specific markets and stuff in life that, you know, is not common. And, you know, I was able to upcharge on these services and upcharge on what I offer, and there's a lot of value. So, you know, I do real estate, I do business funding, I do credit repair. I basically have a business consulting company that umbrellas, you know, all these things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everything that is connected with business, you know, I do it, from marketing solutions to business strategies, everything. You know what I mean? And it goes hand in hand with music and artist development.
Yeah.
Because I help artists, you know, get money, whether it's through public funding or grants or brandings, brand deals. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just got into all of it little by little, and you know, it's a very well-known saying, like, it's not who you know. I mean, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know what I mean? And man, if it wasn't for the people that I had the pleasure and honor of meeting, I would not be where I am today. You know what I mean? I would have never been that audio engineer. I would have never been who I am today as a businessman. And it's just making yourself available. And I think that was the most important thing that played a really big role in my journey, was being available. You know what I mean? And like showing up.
Yeah.
90% of it is just showing up. You know what I mean? And showed up. I was sitting around at a desk for maybe 7 hours, and then that 1 hour that I was surrounded by people, I was surrounded by the right person at the right time, and they fucked with my energy. They connected with me, and like, they're like, yo, I like you, take my number. I stayed in contact with them, and they gave me amazing opportunities. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with building relationships to artists. You know, I built a relationship with you, and it's just about being open and honest and transparent with people. You know what I mean? And it's all just about being on a mission. And at the end of the day, a lot of people are on the same mission. You know what I mean? They just want to prosper. Yep. You know, in whatever market, whatever path they're on, prosper as an artist, prosper in life, prosper financially, in general, just prosperity. And everyone's on that same mission. So when you're able to align
and add value to them,
to them, and also take value, you know what I mean? It's a recipe for a really good relationship. And you know, a lot of amazing situations have birthed themselves from that, you know. So yeah, you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know, really.
Well, if you're an artist out there or you're a business owner, please get at my brother Zuri G. I'll put his Instagram in the comments. Man, Zuri, thank you so much for sitting down and taking the time.
To be here, bro. For real.
Hey, Loboz Corner, episode 2, Zuri G baby, V12. We out of here.
Let's make it happen.